They sit in the back. They don't interrupt. They listen more than they speak. You've seen them, maybe in school, at work, or even at home. The ones who smile quietly, nod politely. They never cause a scene. But silence isn't emptiness. It's pressure, a kind of pressure that builds slowly over time, until one day, it doesn't. Quiet people feel everything. They just don't show it. They think before they speak. They reflect instead of react. And when they're hurt, they don't always say a word. Not because it doesn't matter to them, but because they've learned that speaking up doesn't always change things. So they carry it for a long, long time. But there's a limit to how much someone can carry. The psychologist Carl Jung once said, "What you resist not only stays, it grows." For quiet people, this is real. Every time they ignore a rude comment, every time they let someone cross a line, every time they hide how they really feel, it adds up, not on the surface, but deep inside, until something small breaks the surface, and everything comes rushing out. Not with shouting, not with noise, but with distance, with silence, with change. They might pull away, cut ties, disappear without warning, and people around them are left confused. They seemed fine. What happened? But they weren't fine. They were just tired of being misunderstood. There's a story about a man named Chris. He worked at a company where no one really noticed him. He showed up early, stayed late, and never complained. People kept giving him extra work. They forgot to say thank you, and he never pushed back. One day, after years of holding it all in, he handed in a simple resignation letter. It said, "I gave this job everything, and it gave me nothing." No argument, no drama, just silence. And then he was gone. Later, the company realized how much he actually held together. But by then, it was too late. That's how quiet people break. Not loudly, but completely. The philosopher Kierkegaard once said, "There's a kind of sadness that doesn't scream. It just lives with you quietly, like a shadow." And this is the quiet person's struggle. They live in a world that rewards loud voices, fast answers, big personalities. So they shrink. They hold their truth inside. They go along with things they don't believe in. Not because they don't care, but because they've been told that their voice doesn't matter. But it does. But when a quiet person finally breaks, it's not just pain spilling out, it's truth. All the thoughts they never said, all the emotions they kept hidden. And that truth, it can be turned into something powerful. It's the beginning of clarity. So if you're one of the quiet ones, if you've spent your life nodding, helping, staying silent, maybe it's time to check in with yourself. Are you speaking your truth? Are you living in a way that feels real? You don't have to become loud. You don't have to change who you are. But maybe you can stop shrinking. Maybe you can start saying no. Start drawing lines. Start choosing yourself, even just a little. Because being quiet doesn't mean being invisible. It means you think before you speak. And when you do speak, it matters. So let your silence hold power, not pain. And when you finally choose to show up as yourself, not what others expect, but who you truly are, that's not breaking. That's becoming.